Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Learning Forward Show. Yet another exciting episode. Yes, today we again go to the land of coaches. That is none other than America, which has the maximum number of coaches per population density in the world. Yes, but I have a very special coach with me today, a communications consultant. She works on adult to adult communication in schools in particular, trains coaches, teachers, administrators, and has been an inspiration for me. Right when I met her some years back on a lunch table to where I am today, I think we've had a lot of bites together.
Yes, we did. It was nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
great. Her footnote says having had conversations, and I think I had my first hard conversation, though on a soft bottom, sitting there all the way in a Learning Forward conference. I love her collaboration skills, and these help her bring out the best adult self at work. A celebrity, author, yes, a woman of substance.
Oh,
Swimming
you're
in the
so
deep end,
wonderful. Yes.
her new book, Stretching Your Learning Edge, will stretch you. Welcome to the show, Jennifer. Wonderful to
Oh,
have you
thank.
with us.
I am so delighted to be here, Sandeep. It's a pleasure. I never received such a lovely comment of being a woman of substance. I will live up to that. I hope tonight.
Thank you. An honor and privilege on behalf of the Board of Learning Forward, the trustees, and the entire Learning Forward India family, as well as Learning Forward US. Share with
Thank
us,
you.
Jennifer, what's this passion for education all about? As a communication consultant, you could have been the best communication consultant to corporates. Why passion for education and focus on schools?
Oh, that's a lovely question. I I was once asked by a grandmother of a student that I was working with. Tell me about your work in teaching. And I said, my subject is English. I teach English literature and writing, but I am hoping that through our conversations and the learning of my students that we become better human beings and more humane. And her comment to me back was, "Are you also teaching grammar?" And I said, "Well, I will teach grammar, but I think that the goal is to develop us as humane human beings. And I believe that that begins at the beginning during education. And I wanted to sort of be a part of that development of young people. And my focus was high school. And I loved it for many years and have continued to stay to help develop the adults as well, because I think our field is so critical to the development of the world and of sort of being humane as global citizens."
Well, I love this idea of global citizen.
Hmm.
And as we see today, it's good time to ponder. It's one world. My deeds
Yes,
reach you, your deeds reach me. There couldn't be a better time in the history of this planet, if I may say it, to understand that we all live under the same roof. You mentioned
absolutely.
three very interesting things, and I want to quiz you on these three. We'll start step by step.
Okay.
My first question: why focus on adults?
Mm. I think that I recognized in education that we have gone through credential programs, taken qualifications, done education and how to be teachers in our subjects or in our grade levels, but we do not have credentials in how to communicate effectively to each other. And yet it is so critical within the education field. There's research that I'm sure that Learning Forward India works with, as does all of the world, around the importance of being collectively efficacious, working together as a team, and the research that if we do that and joint work together, we can really increase student achievement and well-being. I really focused on noticing that every adult joining those collective conversations needed their own development. And I started as a coach. with new teachers. And then I went into working with department chairs and administrators. And I realized we continue to develop, but we are not supported in that development and education. It's not the focus, as I understand, but I think it is a very important piece. And that's why I chose to continue to focus on that for my work.
Please stay with us. We will be back after a quick commercial break. It's been wonderful working with Learning Forward, more so because I've had the golden opportunity of being the founder as well as the sponsor and the first chairperson of Learning Forward India. It was indeed an honor and privilege to stitch together the affiliate and bring in hundreds of people from all over the country as our members. In 3 years, we've come a long way. We have worked with a few dozen schools. What's most beautiful about Learning Forward is they are committed to raising the bar for the teaching and learning profession. And we as an affiliate strongly support that. And Learning Forward is but a natural step for everyone in life. Affiliate has to live by the spirit of Learning Forward. And not just be in design and policy, but in terms of purely connecting with the educators and helping them appreciate what they are doing. Affiliation is more about appreciating the spirit of learning. To understand the global implication of education, you must become an affiliate.
My next question. What made you teach grammar?
I know that there is a way to communicate and that people need to be as articulate as possible, and certain grammatical forms are of importance. I also probably selfishly, for the world and for my interest, taught more of the literature and the ethics within the novels and the work that we did. But I did teach grammar. It wasn't a focal point, but it was there.
Yeah, I like the way you stepped up the grammar ladder and caught the adults by the neck.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you mentioned something about being humane, and we at Learning Forward have a flagship program called Joy of Learning.
Yeah.
And I often say that what links us together is #HappyTeachers. At the risk of promoting our program, I think I would like to know what your spirit of humaneness is all about.
Okay, so I was reviewing your Joy of Learning and My Good School and all of the spirit with which you are working with educators in our field to build their resiliency, build their well-being, build their abilities. And my current work around stretching your learning edges really aligns with that. I think that we need to develop ourselves. You have in the Joy of Learning intellectual growth and communication and relationships and identity. And I could Venn diagram with everything that you speak to, because I think that the idea of learning how to suspend certainty in our decision making is so essential. Learning to take responsibility for our communication is so important. Engaging in reciprocity, believing that we are there to contribute and there to gain in our relationships. All of the Joy of Learning, I think, aligns so deeply with my work. And it's not where we normally focus. And yet, I think that if we spent more time, as you notice in your Joy of Learning circles, that it will make a happier teacher. It will make a more confident, a more stable, a more resilient individual that comes in to work with students and with the school if they build those capacities that you mentioned and that I mentioned.
Thank you. I want to, before the show runs out, we are running out of time, I want to find out a little more about Jennifer, the author. So how from the deep end how to
Mm.
hard conversations, and then stretching learning. These titles
Yeah.
are, you know, I don't want to risk it, but I want to use the word. The titles are very sexy.
I think that they have, thank you. They're provocative. Let's say that. I
That's a better
I
word.
am I am always um, stretching myself, and I'm noticing that I have challenge in having a hard conversation. So I write books about things that I need to develop. And the same thing with swimming in the deep end, which was when I was trying to roll out initiatives in a school district that I was in. I felt that was very deep end. It wasn't very shallow, work. It was very challenging work. And so I was like, wow, I'm in the deep end. And so I wrote a book called Swimming the Deep End. The same thing with stretching my learning edges. The idea that we as adults are not done yet. We do not, we're not fully developed, and we need to stretch ourselves. And this has been a time where we have been stretched. And as we go back, God willing, into schools and be with each other next year in person, let us be bigger selves. So what does that mean? And so I wrote a book that stretched me, and I hope will be a conversation starter so that we can be bigger and better people for the kids and for our communities. So that's why I wrote those books.
Wonderful. So I am going to raise a toast to your bigger self and
Thanks.
celebrate this beautiful moment which we've had together.
Uh,
Here is to the
thank
joy of learning, here is to being humane, and even more, here is to understand that adults must keep up their learning forward. That is the key,
Lovely.
because if we don't keep up our learning forward, I don't think we are going to live a full life.
I'm with you,
Love your
Sandeep.
energy. Love your energy. Delighted
Thank
to
you
have
so
you
much.
on the show.
Delighted to be here.